This is going to be just a really quick little project. I've had this basket, it's kind of a knitting basket or a sewing basket. I bought it years and years and years ago from one of those home party basket companies. And I bought it. It had this green gingham on it, very country looking. I like it. It's got a little stain on it. It's nice. It's full of stuff from when I moved that I haven't unpacked yet. And it's cute and all, but the fabric is it's not really my style now. I don't really have a really foreign country look anymore. And I have extra fabric left over from my drapes for the sewing room. So I figured, why not recover this with this fabric? And it shouldn't take me very long at all. So first step, and I've actually started it, but I put it back for the video, is to so I'm gonna set the basket aside because I don't really need that for this. Just gonna recover the lid, and this screw comes out that takes the handle off, or the knob off, and then this part, that could stand to be recovered if I felt like digging out some off-white muslin, but I'm gonna leave it for now. It's fine. And I could pull this off. It's glued on, but I think my new fabric is definitely thick enough that the gingham is not going to show through. Well, it kind of does. So, question is, do I try to pull this off? Let's see. Let's see if I can get it off fairly easy. If I can, we'll pull it off. The bonus to pull, and so it just has a little piece of batting. It's all in good condition, cut to size. If I needed to replace it, I could have just used that as a template, but set that aside. Well, that gives me a pattern for cutting out my new cover. So, get my fabric single layer here. I think it might be kind of nice to have one of these flowers kind of centered on the top. It'll have a knob in the middle, but that won't matter. So let's kind of place that there. I don't have a cutting mat under this, so I'm gonna have to use scissors or something. I'm trying to do this quick and dirty, not fancy. It's been on there for a number of years, 20 some years. But it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna get some pins right here. Okay, so I have that pretty floral piece kind of centered under there. Just gonna kind of pin this in place just so it doesn't move while I'm cutting it. Again, this has got a good 2 or 3 inch overlap, so it's not gonna be the end of the world if it's not exact. That's good. All right, grab some scissors. There we go. Flip this over, put this down on top. Oops, 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 it's all coming apart. Center it. You might want to just kind of do a flip over and see if it's centered the way you like it. That works. Doesn't have to be, you know, if you had a design that, you know, needed to be real square and perfect. And let me get some glue. I'm just going to use this Fast Grab tacky glue, craft glue. Could probably use hot glue. Okay, as I have more if I need it. And then make sure that the batting is all centered underneath. And I'm just going to kind of come in and hold that, and then I'm going to do opposite sides, just so I don't have any wrinkles on the other side. So kind of just do the 4 points, the 4, you know, midnight 3, 6, and 9. And then, now, so then I can check it, and it's nice and smooth. And then I can just kind of start pleating the fabric and pulling it up. See? And I'm going to let this dry because I don't really want to, well, does it matter? Probably doesn't matter. Center this on here. I'm going to actually put the screw through here. Through here. And I haven't cut the hole on the other side, but I want it to line up. Make sure it's centered. So now I can kind of turn it over and I can feel where the bolt is and just put a little hole. There we go. Now, if this was a really ravelly fabric or something, I would maybe put a little glue or freight check or something around there. But this is pretty sturdy fabric. I don't think it, once the thing is in place, it's not going to matter. Now, if you had a different knob that you wanted to replace it with, or paint that knob or something, you could do that, but there we go. And now my pretty basket is even prettier because it matches the room, and I can set it next to my work chair over there under the curtains, and it coordinates with the room. I like it. And it's just much more my style than the green gingham check for my house. So, also, if you have any other round baskets, or maybe even, I think I have some rectangular baskets, and you want to make lids for them, really all you have to do is measure the diameter of the interior of your basket, if it's round, you know, and then cut a lightweight piece of, you could, well, I think I would use some kind of wood, but some, you know, press board or, I don't know, thin wood that won't warp. And cover that with batting, cover it with fabric. And then, let's see how much of an overhang this is. If I can find a measuring tape. It looks like it's about a 3/4 of an inch overhang, give or take, maybe a little less. Yeah, it might be 5/8. 5/8, perhaps. But I'm sure 3/4 of an inch, or even a 1/2 inch, depending on your basket. And do the same thing, put a knob to connect the two, glue them together, put the knob on, and you have a lid for a basket. So, would not be that difficult of a DIY project to put lids on your basket. And I'm actually thinking of a few other baskets that I have that might be a really good idea to do. Because then they're, well, you know, in my house, it's keeping the cap from getting into my yarn or my sewing projects, or just storing things out of sight. And all kinds of fabrics could be used. I have this little bit of upholstery fabric that I got free from the fabric store that I went to, and that would have been, if I had wanted it to go in the blue room, would have been perfect. Probably would have needed to use staples or a lot more glue or a stronger glue to glue it down. But the inner lid does help keep the fabric in place once you've glued it down. So that's a really economical way of doing it, is to get some of these free samples of discontinued fabric from a fabric store or upholstery center or something like that. So I am trying to think if I have some baskets that would go in the blue room to sit next to the fireplace that this could go on. So that's just my really quick little project for today. So hope you enjoyed it.